Good evening, guys. Running a little bit late. I think I got the lights solved, but give me 1 second. I just need to go check on a couple things real quick. Be right back. Eyes don't peace and it stop what talking and stop. Tonight, yeah. Y'all don't know nothing about that Wiz Kid. That's it's another one of my anthems from 2023. And if I'm being honest with you, I think that this is the whole reason why all of this has even began. Because these punk ass family members of mine don't want me to win my race. They don't even want me to run it. But they ain't gonna stop it. They can't stop it. As a matter of fact, we're building right now as we speak. How y'all like that? Fake ass family. Anyway, so where we last left off, I had already moved out of the house and trying to put things back together. I got all my furniture and I'm doing all those things. I'm hanging TVs and I'm putting my space back together the way it was before I moved to the other house. Now, before I go any further, it's also really important for me to now just go back and share a couple of tidbits of information that I failed to give you last week. And that is, when I left in December, or rather I should say, when I let her know I would be gone in December, what I didn't know was that she had stolen my passport. What I didn't know was that this Black Widow had also stolen the titles to my Corvette and my pickup truck. What I didn't know was this woman had stolen one of my cold storage wallets for some crypto and some Ethereum and some other stuff that I had bought. I also didn't know that my birth certificate was missing. I didn't find any of that out until I got everything situated in the house. Now, I don't know why she took the pink slips and I don't know why she took the birth certificate, and I certainly don't understand why she took the passport. But if you hang in there with her, brother, I'm pretty sure it might become quite clear to you why. So let's move forward, right? Because now we're in the month of April, right? And I'm trying to get the last of the things that belong in my new house, the house that I'm moving back to. Some of the things that I never got back, even to this day. My Segway, which cost me about $1,000. My pool table, which I paid $5,000 for. Where's my damn pool table at? And do you know, every time I went to the police station to file a report for the theft of these two rather expensive belongings, they refused to take a police report, claiming it was a civil matter. Well, I mean, the divorce is finalized. The judge decreed that everything that belongs to me should be either left outside or in the garage for me to pick up on a particular day. It never happened. I'm guessing whoever it is that's living in that house now got a free pool table. And I'm not really sure how I should feel about that because, you know, where I come from, when somebody do you something, you do them back. Like if they didn't put you in the dirt, it might not be right away, but maybe, a few months from now, you go see about that piece of business. But, like I told you guys already, I had a dark night of the soul. So something changed about how I feel about all of these things. For one, a $5,000 pool table, I can buy another one. Right now, today, if I want. $1,000 Segway. Now, I liked my Segway. My Segway was tons of fun. It was just a toy. But that's the thing with the Black Widow. Anything that was making me happy, she wanted to try to crush it. What a crazy, strange bird. She must not really have been a very happy person deep down inside, and I don't know how I didn't see it. But in any event, it's April. I'm at the house. So is Officer Mayberry, and I'm getting what I can get. But after I get what I can get and put in my truck, I leave. And the very next day, I get a call from one of these lackluster attorneys that I hired saying that we have an impromptu hearing. And it's in regards to, what is that when, somebody gets an order of protection against you, I guess is what it is, right? So how do you get an order of protection from somebody who's not even harming you? I guess you lie, right? I guess you have to lie. Now, what I didn't know at that time in April when it was time to go to this little hearing, after talking to another attorney, it was explained to me by this attorney that there was actually a meeting in the judge's chambers between the lackluster attorney that I hired and opposing counsel, the responding counsel. They all met with the judge. No one told me any of this. Now, I'm guessing in that meeting is when the lies came out, because when we went to court that next day for this supposed protective order, barring me from being able to go to a house that I built, the judge was unnecessarily angry with me. Like I peed in his Cheerios or something, or maybe I kicked his dog. I don't know this guy. I never met this judge before. Honorable Judge Brent Hill, you're not honorable at all. As a matter of fact, this guy could not calm himself down. I have never seen a human being, much less a judge, so unable to control his emotions. He seemed very angry. It's almost like, hey, if you talked to me like that in a bar, I would have kicked all kinds of ass across that bar. And it would have been yours, Judge. But since we're in your courtroom and you hold power there, I gotta play nice, right? Or I don't have to play nice. I don't think I played nice that day. I think I pissed him off so much I ended up just walking out of the courtroom. But on that day, guys, protective order was placed against me, barring me from being able to go pick up my belongings. Absolutely nuts. But hey, we deal with what we got to deal with, and if I'm being honest, probably was a good thing, right? Because it gave me much more time to sit back around this place and put everything in perspective and in its proper place. So that's what I was doing. Now, from April until July, I want to tell you a little bit more about my workplace. You see, during this time while all this is going on, I obviously have to let my leadership team know, hey, I'm going through this life-changing event. I'm going to be checking out to go to some court dates and deal with this and deal with that. And so I just want you guys to be in the know. But my regional sales director seemed very interested to know the specifics as to what was going on. Now, some of you may have been in leadership, some of you may not have been in leadership, but the one thing that you're taught when you're in leadership is that personal situations for your employees are just that. They're personal, they're off limits, they're not your business, they're not your concern, and nobody has to tell you too much of anything other than the bare minimum. And the rest is up to you to deal with and manage. Now, if you trust your employee, then you're good to go. For some reason, I felt like that guy didn't trust me. As a matter of fact, I certainly didn't trust him. You see, because right around that time, or just before April, around the time of March, I want to say, I began to realize that this was the culprit that was making these little innocuous difficulties in my job occur. He was the guy. Whenever I came to him wanting assistance, right, because his job was to remove roadblocks so that I would clear an easy path to success, he never removed the roadblocks. I showed him where they were. I told him all about them. He said he would do something, but nothing ever got done. Shame on you, Eric. Shame on you. Even Eric is jealous of me, and Eric makes more money than I do. So fucking crazy. You got more than I do, but it's bothering you that I have what I have. It's bothering you maybe that the team respected me. Maybe they respected my opinion. Maybe they thought I had good ideas. I know for a fact, Eric, you thought I had good ideas. Hell, you stole them often. You stole them quite often. And you didn't even give me credit. That's horrible. You plagiarizing my ideas, stealing my intellectual property, all while making and creating hardships that don't deserve to be in my life and in the role and the job that I was doing. Guys, I ain't gonna lie, man. I have so many people I could just line up. I could just put them all on the line and throw rights and lefts. Yeah, I think they deserve it, but I don't deserve the aftermath if I should. So I don't, right? I don't answer his questions. I don't give him any more information than I have to. But I did let him know that I was fully aware that for whatever reason, you weren't taking care of me, Eric. Taking care of everybody else, but you weren't taking care of me, and I just couldn't figure out why. Could it be somebody else was in your ear lying to you? Could it be you took some coin to try to do me one too? I'm pretty sure that's exactly what the hell happened. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty certain right now that that's what happened because, you know, last month, I received a paycheck from Boeing. Now, I haven't worked for Boeing since November of 2024. I wasn't officially no longer an employee until 1/17 of 2025. But here I find in February of 2026, I receive a check from Boeing. For what? For commissions that you were stealing? Trying to keep my money low? Trying to help my punk ass family? Make me destitute so I wouldn't be able to fight the battle that I'm fighting right now? In court? With attorneys? Spending racks on racks on racks? Jerk. But anyways, like I'm saying, let me move past that piece of person. I don't even want to consider him an actual human being. You can't be a human being and do some of the things that you were trying to do behind jealousy and envy. It's probably envy. It can't be jealousy. Jealousy is something you can do from a distance, but we work together. Maybe you're just envious. Maybe it just bothers you that I look the way I look, or that I built the way I'm built, or that I think how I think, or that I'm able to do the things that I'm able to do outside of that job. Anyway, time is moving on along. April, May, June, July comes along. It's time to get divorced, y'all. Now, while all of this is taking place in between April and July, I'm getting spam calls daily, like 20, 25 plus. I got a guy with a New York accent that calls me every day looking for somebody named Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy Hughes. Jimmy Hughes Cattle. Well, my name's not Jimmy. And I don't know anything about cattle. I can cook a steak, but I don't know anything about cattle. But this guy calls me every day, wanting to talk. Matter of fact, I got receipts on those. I'll let those receipts out for you guys. I'm getting crazy texts from numbers I've never seen before, wanting to know how I'm doing. I know it's that crazy witch I married. See, because, like I said, their whole plan doesn't work if she's not in communication and contact with me. If she does not know what I'm doing, what I plan to do next, and where I'm going and where I've been, she can't share that information with anybody. Right? She texted me a little stupid ass text. Hello there. How are you? Hi, handsome. She's like to call me handsome. That's how I know it was her. Right? But we get into court in July. And I ain't gonna lie, guys, I've been running a marathon. I'm tired. I gotta pick up the pieces here. I gotta get things together here. I gotta pay these stupid ass attorneys to not do anything. These attorneys were such shit. Ananika, you are a piece of shit human being. That's my opinion. And I have proof. Ananika charged me $3,800 to take opposing counsel's phone calls. When we were at the hearing in April, she said nothing to the judge. She didn't object to anything. It was almost like she believed what was told. Nothing was told to me about why I should be barred from a house that I built. None of it made any sense. Right? $3,800 for phone calls, guys. Anyways, I dropped her, right? I had dropped her because I was like, you're useless. What am I paying you money for if you don't even say anything in open court? So I decided to go ahead and just wing it and deal with it myself because I needed my chips for some other stuff. Anyway, I obviously got my ass handed to me in court, but I didn't really care, right? Like I knew they couldn't take any of the things that I owned before we got married. The only thing I'm gonna lose here is that house. Or so I thought. You see, because the judge awarded this witch 20 grand. This judge awarded her another 10 grand if I didn't give her back some of the stuff that I took after she took my passport and birth certificate. And he didn't even order her to return those things. He ordered me to return stuff, but didn't order her to return anything. So lopsided, you know. But you know, hey, it is what it is. I still have my crib. I've got my vet. I got my truck, and I still got my gig. So I'm okay with everything that's taking place. Not to mention, I got a little something I quite rather enjoy up in Tulsa. So I'm in good shape. Anyway, so we go to court that day. Court ends. But before court ends, we both kind of have to sit in stands, I guess, because I decided to show up prepared persona. I got a chance to cross-examine the ex-wife, but yeah, I really didn't want to talk to her. I asked her a couple of stupid questions, and I told her to go ahead and sit her ass back down. And then I got on the stand. And the little fat attorney that she hired, the little fat gerbil, you know, he's asking a bunch of questions, telling lies, presenting documents that weren't true. It was a bunch of false statements, but they were making it legal, right? Because the court was accepting the information, it became fact. But while sitting on the stand, I just decided I'm not going to answer any of his questions, but I'm going to tell her what I really think. And what I told her was, you know, for everything that I've done for you, for everything, right, that I shared with you during the time that we've been together, how dare you lie to this court? How dare you try to make me into some sort of villain when you know that I'm not? When you are the villain in this whole game. But I don't need to air out all the laundry. I just want the divorce because I want to get away from you. And the very last thing I told her was that she'll never, ever be in my energy again, and I meant it. I meant it. Well, guess what's happening right now, guys? As I'm telling you all these stories about her. Oh, I'm getting these prank calls again. I'm starting to get these scam calls, these call and hang up when you answer calls. Somebody called me the other day looking for Jimmy again. Ridiculous stuff. You know, but by now, man, I'm a vet. Right? By now I'm a vet. I went and got myself an iPhone. So any phone numbers that I don't recognize, they're not saved in my phone. They go to voicemail. I never even see you call. I quite rather like that. That's a nice solution. Let you just spin your wheels in the mud, little dummy. But like I said, guys, I said she'll never be in my energy again, and I meant it. And I'm guessing right about now, some of the other things that I explained to the Black Widow were that her family members were jealous of us, right? Because we were being successful, because we were doing things they weren't doing. That her friends might be harboring a little ill will, a little envy, a little jealousy, because they weren't moving like we were moving either. But did she listen to me? No, because Black Widows don't listen to Kangs. But I'm guessing right now, while I'm telling these truths on Facebook, she's starting to get another picture, a picture different than the people that were in her ears, telling her lies. I think she knows the truth by now, guys. And I bet you she feels pretty goddamn stupid that she actually walked away from a blessing. She walked away from a gift. Hell, my dumbass regional sales director, he did the same thing. Him and one of my coworkers that couldn't stand me because, well, he's talentless. I would probably, you know what? If I had money to bet, I would bet that he doctored up his resume. That's how false this motherfucker is. You know, one of those guys that has to tell you how great they are because they can't just show you. They have to tell you. Because if they don't tell you, you're not going to believe it anyway. But it wasn't just him. Oh, here we go again. I wonder who that was. That is crazy. That should not have happened. That should not have happened. Anyway. But yeah, them, those two, a whole bunch of other people, some people that I grew up with in the company, feeling sorrowful. I guess, you know, because they're getting older and they're aging. And maybe it doesn't seem like I'm aging all that much. Maybe I just got some white hair on my face, but I look like me. And some of those guys I came up with, well, I don't know. They look like they've been rode pretty damn hard. It sucks, right? Like when you can't just be comfortable with yourself and you have to find jealousy and envy in other people. So crazy. Now, as we go moving further along, once we get the divorce paperwork going, the house is also being listed. And I know I've told you guys this story before, but since these jackasses keep trying to delete and remove videos, I kind of have to retell what I need to retell. You see, because I never do anything without a good reason. And you can bet your sweet ass I'm doing this right now for a very good reason. So anyways, like I'm saying, I told you guys a while back in 2019, I met a real estate agent named Terry McCoy. Now, Terry and her husband came over to the house that I currently live in because I was thinking about selling the house. And they were talking about the house only being worth a few coin over $300K. And I kicked their dumbasses out my house in 2019 for telling me some stupidness. And then 6 months later, I would refinance a house that was appraised at $425,000. So you telling me in 6 months, I picked up $120,000 in equity? Nah, you guys are just fucking criminals. And you think people that look like me are stupid. But you hurry up and got your dumb ass out my house that day, didn't you? Because I don't look nice when I'm not smiling, y'all. But if we fast forward to 2024, this same, I don't know, shabby real estate, sketchy real estate agent, Terry McCoy, she's listing that property. And I called Terry, and I'm going to drop that receipt for sure. But I called Terry and I said, Terry, how long you been selling houses? She said, almost 20 years. I said, and in that time, have you ever listed a house without both owners signing the listing agreement? Oh, she told me some of the most stupidest, ridiculous things. Well, your ex-wife's attorney said that I could list the house. I said, oh, okay. All right. So I went to the broker of record. I called Bob Baker. Now, Bob Baker has been visiting my Facebook page quite regularly since all this happened. I wonder why, right? But me and Bob Baker, one day, we did actually have a conversation. During that conversation, what I would find out is when they dropped the listing in November, right? Because the house was on the market from July till November of 24. Then the listing disappeared. Terry McCoy and her husband, well, they left the country. Yeah, they left the country to go sell houses internationally. That don't sound strange to y'all? Because I was raising a whole lot of hell, right? Around that time, I went to visit their office. I visited the broker of record. I visited that little fat gerbil of an attorney at 2 of his locations listed on his website where he did not hold space in either of those buildings for at least a year. And then when I would look at the actual court hearing documents, I noticed an address. There was an address for that little fat gerbil. Yeah. And that address was the same virtual address for my ex-wife's LLC. Yeah, she had an LLC and she was renting out an office space over in Plano. Well, guess where the little fat gerbil attorney lives? In Plano. Now, I think that they had been putting this together for some time. Yeah. They've been putting it together for some time. And the interesting thing is the judge didn't notice it. I noticed it, but the judge didn't notice it. And then when I tried to speak about it, the judge would not hear anything. Guys, I can't believe how many people trying to screw me. Right? The whole courthouse is against me. The little fat gerbil. He's out for blood, and I don't understand why he's so tenacious about all of this. I got a boss trying to reduce my commissionable earnings by removing large, successful accounts, creating problems that make it difficult for me to leave my home office to go see customers to sell, and then looking at me and saying, hey, you're not doing your job. Guys, these guys are cooking up some amazing karma for themselves, because I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to lay a hand on anyone. But I'm going to tell the truth. That's what the fuck I'm going to do. Because I don't have to put hands on you. I have the truth. Anyways, so like I said, I go to these offices. I don't see an attorney in sight. I'm talking to people in the building. They're like, no, he hadn't been here since a year. And I think, like I said in the last video, the video that got removed, guys, I start feeling this weird feeling in the pit of my stomach. So I start getting on the phone and I start calling attorneys. And I find an attorney, I hire him, and I want to get in court and I want to tell him everything that's been going on. That's where I am. Now, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down right here, guys, because, well, today's March 20th. It's the first day of spring. And on the first day of spring, around these here parts, we celebrate a very special human being. Human being for, without their existence, Darrell wouldn't be here. That's right, y'all. My mother, Miss Robina Johnson. I love you, Mom. Happy birthday. I had an amazing day with you today, and I hope that we can do it again tomorrow and the next day and the next day until we finish that book. So I've been running around all day with my mom, trying to make her day as special as I can and make sure that she knows that I love her. And, you know, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little tired after the day was over, so I'm kind of a little bit tired, and I really kind of wanted to wrap up things between me and the Black Widow, right? Because we're divorced now. I've accomplished my goal. Yeah, I've accomplished the goal of getting the hell away from that crazy little Hellcat. Yeah, but she's not done. She'll be chasing me for the next 2 years. So tune in next week, guys. I'm gonna tell you all about these jealous and envious punk ass coworkers who got little tiny little baby balls because they don't even have enough to step in front of me to tell me, hey, Darrell, I don't like you. Man, do stuff behind your back, look in your face and smile and act like everything is kosher. And then behind your back, try to create some problems and some issues. I'm guessing because they knew back then I would have served them some wops, which is, I guess that's kind of smart on their part. But I still think it's pusillanimous. And for those who don't know what pusillanimous means, it's really just the entire word, right? Which is then shortened and abbreviated to become pussies, right? So when you call somebody a pussy, it's really the short abbreviated version of the word pusillanimous. And I hope I taught somebody something today. In any event, yeah, I'm gonna tell you all about those pussies. But when I do tell you about this, it's important to know I have the deepest, utmost respect for the Boeing Company, and most certainly for ABO. I enjoyed working for those companies. I loved working for those companies. I learned everything that I know today about doing what I'm doing because of those two companies. But companies are inert, right? They're corpses. They can't feel. They're not jealous. They're not envious. It's unhealed, raggedy ass human beings within the company that I plan to talk about. Okay, so I want to make that distinguish. I want to distinguish that. I need to make that distinction, excuse me. Because I'm not attacking the company that gave me the opportunity to do the things that I was able to do with my life. I'm going to attack these pusillanimous motherfuckers that tried to come for me on some sneak shit. And if you think I don't know who you were, you're going to find out next week. Anyways, guys, it's Friday. Another Friday. I love Friday. Even when I'm not working, I love Friday. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. It's about to start warming up here. I'm getting ready to take the tops off the Bronco. And I'm going to go play in the sun tomorrow, have a good time. I'm going to gas up, go do some people watching. Who knows, maybe I'll make a new friend or two. So I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. I hope that if you have any people having birthdays in the month of March or even this weekend or the weekend next, that you love on them, that you show them that you love them, and that you appreciate that they're still here with you. More than anything, I want my mom to know I still appreciate the fact that she's here for me. Even though I don't have my father anymore, my mother being the biggest part of why I am the way I am, why I love the way I love. I love you, Mom. Thank you for still being here. Thank you for still loving on me and laughing with me, joking with me. Guys, if your mom is still here, love on her. And if she's not here, remember all the beautiful things. All the wonderful things your mother did for you. Protected you when you couldn't protect yourself. Fed you when you couldn't feed yourself. Loved on you when you were hurting. That's it. That's all I got to say, guys. Take good care of the people that take care of you. And above all else, take care of yourself first, because you can't do the other if you haven't done this one first. I love you. Have a good weekend.